Hi, welcome to my video. This is the Eclectic Male Witch. Tonight, I'm doing a discussion video, an important discussion. I'm going to try to do that on Saturday nights, because that's the nights I usually have to work overnight, and I don't really have time to do spell videos. I like to do discussion videos with you guys, I think those are important too. Tomorrow night, I'll probably do a spell video, but for tonight, I'm going to do an important discussion video. The name of this video is going to be Unconditional Forgiveness and letting go of the garbage bag of resentment. As we all know, forgiveness is a very important thing in our life. If we don't forgive, we're choosing to hang on to something that's only going to hurt us in the long run. It's going to cause resentment. And like some of the things I've discussed before in some of my other discussion videos, like you got people that they do one little thing wrong, and all of a sudden you guys have had a good relationship, you stop talking, just for years. And why would you want to do that over something? It's very tragic when brothers and sisters, mothers, fathers, cousins, friends, even wives and husbands, or your partner in a relationship, when just one little thing offends you, and then it's just like that for years, you won't talk. Even if you're in a relationship, you might live in the same home, but you just kind of separate and you won't even talk to each other. Well, let's think about this. Is this really something that we should be doing? I mean, think about how destructive that is for our society. All right. Well, I want to tell you, I actually wrote this. I have a little article here. I used the AI to do it, but what I did is I programmed the details of what I want to say, and I wrote a really nice blog article out of it. And I'm going to read that for you guys. And this basically tells what's on my heart and what I think. All right. The title of this is The Garbage Bag of Resentment and Letting It Go. This is what it says. Forgiveness is a powerful act that can bring peace and healing to our lives. It is the act of letting go of anger, resentment, and bitterness towards someone who has hurt us, and choosing to release them from any debt or obligation that we may feel they owe us. Forgiveness is not always easy, but it is necessary for our own well-being. Unconditional forgiveness is particularly important because holding on to anger and bitterness can be like carrying a heavy bag of garbage over your shoulders. At first, it may not seem like a big deal, but as time goes on, the bag becomes heavier and heavier. It starts to smell and weigh us down. We may find ourselves unable to move forward and enjoy life because we are so focused on the past. When we forgive unconditionally, we let go of the bag of garbage. We release the weight and the smell, and we are free to move forward. I just gotta find my place here. That doesn't mean we condone the behavior of the person who hurt us. It simply means that we choose to let go of the anger and bitterness, and we choose to focus on the present and the future. Forgiveness is not always easy, especially when we have been deeply hurt. It requires us to be vulnerable and let go of our need for justice and revenge. But forgiveness is also incredibly powerful. It can bring healing to our hearts and minds, and it can even bring healing to our relationships. When we forgive, we create space for love, joy, and peace in our lives. We open ourselves up to new experiences and new relationships. Instead of carrying around a bag of garbage, we can travel light and enjoy the journey. In conclusion, unconditional forgiveness and forgetting is important because it allows us to let go of the past and move forward. It frees us from the burden of anger and bitterness, and it allows us to experience love, joy, and peace in our lives. When we forgive, we create space for healing and growth. We open ourselves up to new possibilities. So let go of the bag of garbage and choose to forgive unconditionally. See how beautiful that was? Like I said, I used the AI program, but what I did is I told it the details of some of the things I wanted to, like the metaphor for the garbage. I put that in. I told it about the garbage bag and the weight, and then some other details in here. And I created the title, The Garbage Bag of Resentment and Letting It Go. I created the title for this too, so it's pretty amazing what you can do with AI nowadays. It's words you might not be able to get out properly, it can help you express those in a more powerful way. Now, I don't necessarily think it's always good. I mean, we don't want taking over everything in our lives. For instance, taking over some of our jobs. I understand it's probably going to happen. There's not much we can do about it because it's technology. But what we should start doing is training and adapting to be able to find these careers and jobs that we can do in spite of that. So, I'll give you an example of something that might seem like a subtle type of unforgiveness. All right, say for instance you have a Facebook friend, right? And I don't know, maybe there's something you said to them or something you did, and they might not act towards you too much like, well, you didn't do anything wrong, but all of a sudden you noticed they stopped liking your. This might sound petty to some people, but to me, if you really think about it, it makes sense. All of a sudden they stop liking your Facebook post for months and months. You won't notice even them even liking, even though there's something that they normally like. You go comment on their page, they won't comment back, or you'll see like a whole row of people that commented. You left a comment. They skip past you completely. They like everybody else, but then you're the only one they didn't like. There's some subtle thing there. There's something there that's offended them. It's bugging them about you. And we need to try to find a way to figure out exactly what it is. If we offended somebody in one way or another, we need to try to figure it out so we can go to that person and make it right. Just like forgiving people, we need to go seek forgiveness from them. If we did something wrong, that they might not acknowledge it, like in a sense where they say directly to you what it is. They might act a little different towards you. They might, like, when they're talking to other people, they might smile and be all friendly, but when they turn to you, they're all serious, and in order for them, they'll talk to you when you talk to them, but they won't start a conversation with you. Things like that. You need to find out what that is, because those kind of things right there, even something with somebody else, obviously there's something there's some sort of barrier between you guys that you need to try to bring down. You need to go to that person and first ask them if there's something they did to offend, even if they don't admit to it. What I would suggest doing, if you know maybe you did something to offend somebody, do something kind for them. Go and try to give them a gift. Do something just to show them that you care and you appreciate them, you know? And then when somebody hurts you, do the same thing. Forgive them. And return that hurt with an act of kindness. Go do something kind and nice for that person that's hurt you. And show them you're serious about forgiving them. Because the people that don't normally forgive, if they see that, they see a pattern of people doing kind things in return, eventually it's going to rub off on them. They're going to be affected by that. And they're going to start thinking about, wait a minute here, maybe I should start, maybe something's wrong with me. Maybe I need to start letting things go. I think we could all set an example for people by doing that. I think that's just something we should start doing, you know. And I'm going to light this little incense here. This is another one of my Himalayan. You know, you can see I love these. I have a lot of these. This is my Himalayan rope incense. It's for healing. I'm going to light that for a little bit. Just so we can start thinking about healing relationships where there's bitterness and unforgiveness in our life. Now, when it talks about things like forgetting, obviously it's hard to actually forget something completely. What that means is you act like it never even happened. You put it in the back of your mind, and you just act like it never even happened. After you forgive, a true forgiveness, you don't keep bringing something up in somebody's face. If you forgive somebody, you don't remind them of something they did before. That's not forgiveness. That's holding on to the grudge. You might say you forgive them in your head, but in your heart you really have not. So I'm going to set that right there for a minute. Just something to think about, guys. I don't know what you guys think about this. If somebody's wronged you in some way or some serious way, even if it's something bad, like really bad, I mean, after years and years, if you don't let that go, it's going to destroy your life. You're going to hold on to that. You're going to have all kinds of problems for your own sake and for the sake of the other person. You're supposed to show love to people. Forgive them and try to forget. Move on. If it's a friend, let it go. If it's an acquaintance, let it go. If it's a coworker, let it go. Brothers, sisters, cousins, mothers, fathers, doesn't matter who it is. Let it go. Let it go. Because you will have peace in your life. You'll have good things come back to you. When you return kindness for something that somebody's done you bad, you're sending that energy out into the universe. You're sending that love out. You're saying, yes, I do love you in spite of that. And you're going to have peace in your life. You're going to be happy. You're going to be joyful. So this is something, guys, we really need to think about. So, all right, before I go, remember, everyone has worth, value, beauty, and needs to be loved. Or everyone has worth, value, beauty, and deserves to be loved, deserves friendship, deserves kindness, and deserves acceptance. Alright? Now, before I go, send a little energy out with my singing bowl. And I'm going to speak about letting go, and forgiving. Alright? I now let go of all bitterness, all anger, all resentment towards anybody that's offended me, that's caused me harm. I freely let go. I forgive, and I forget what they did to me. I throw that bag of garbage away. I no longer hold that on my shoulder. It is gone forever. So mote it be. Alright guys, isn't that beautiful, that sound, and just speaking that affirmation with it. Alright guys, before I go, remember, if you want to help my channel, you're more than welcome to. Like I said, I go through supplies, and you don't have to, because I love you guys, and there's nothing to do with money. But if you guys do want to help, I have two different ways. I have my Cash App. My Cash App address is $eclectic81. That's $ECLECTIC81. Also, my email address. You can send me an email just to say hi if you'd like, or it's also through PayPal. You can make a donation that way too. At eclecticmalewitch@gmail.com. That's eclecticmalewitch@gmail.com. Alright guys, remember, everyone has worth, value, beauty, and deserves love, acceptance, friendship, kindness, and forgiveness. We'll add that into it. So, alright guys, thank you for watching my video. Tomorrow night I'm going to do another spell video, but for tonight I've got to get a little rest before I have to go out and do my job. So, also, remember, A Goddess, you're the winner of my competition. If you're watching this video, please reach out to me through my email, eclecticmalewitch@gmail.com. I'd like to hear from you. I've got that Come To Me Oil Friendship bottle that I got for you, and I'm going to make you a love potion spell bottle as well. Alright guys, thank you for watching my video. This is the Eclectic Male Witch. Blessed be.